Hey, I'm Pep, and this is a Pep Talk. Now today, we're going to talk about FLGSs. That's right, your friendly local game store, and why it's important to give them support, especially in times like this during the pandemic. Now, the reason I'm even bringing this up at all is because I have a friendly local game store now. It opened up a couple weeks ago, and I did get a chance to stop in and talk to the owner. And she was really nice and really friendly local game store. I'm going to say friendly local game store a lot during this video. Anyway, the name of the store, it even has an online store. In case you happen to watch this in your local, I don't know if anyone local watches me, but the name is Twice Upon a Bookstore. I love the name. And so, of course, they sell books. You might notice I have some books here. You might also notice they're all Stephen King. Well, one of the main reasons that I only have Stephen King books is because when she opened, I traded some stuff in. I gave her some of my old books, basically anything that wasn't Stephen King. When I was younger, I had a bit of a problem. His name was Stephen King. Anyway, but on top of being a bookstore, she sells a bunch of different board games. She sells dice, role-playing games, and soon she's going to have Magic the Gathering products and some other stuff as well. And she sells other things, journals, some like decorations, I think some jewelry. But the point is, it's a friendly local game store. It's somewhere where I can go. I can even ask ahead of time. I even mentioned a particular game to her that she's going to get in stock. And so that's great. It's somewhere that I have access to. And it's local, and it's great. Yeah, if you have a friendly local game store, you understand. Until this, the closest thing I had was a store in Charlottetown, which is about 45 minutes away from here, that we would visit sometimes when we went into town. So this is big for me. It's big to have something. It's so close by. It's a 30-second walk from my apartment. And so I wanted to give support. So donated some books. I went in just to see the store and look around, bought something, and also gave her a little plug online on my Facebook just to tell people that it was there in case people didn't know she had opened up. And so this is basically a PSA about what you can do to help support your local friendly game store. And especially if it's something that's just opened up, this is a great idea. And I've basically mentioned them just in the last two sentences as to what you can do to support, but we'll go through them in a little bit more detail. The obvious one is buying things. If you can stop in, wear a mask, go in and look around and buy something. If you can't stop in, though, check and see if they have an online store, which she actually does. You can order something via the online store and likely either do a curbside pickup at the store or have it delivered to your house if they do that sort of thing. And you might ask, why not just order via Amazon, maybe get it a little cheaper, or something along those lines, some other online retailer? Well, because you want to support your friendly local game store, because if you don't, they might not be around when the pandemic's over. And then when you finally get the chance to go and hang out with people and play some games, you might not have that chance anymore. I might have to drive 45 minutes again because I didn't give any support to the game store while it was here. So it's an important thing to think about. Now, if you can't buy things, give support some other way. Maybe tell people about them. If it is a new store, plug it on Facebook or on Twitter and just let them know that it's there, that it exists. If they're having any sort of special right now, let people know that. If they have an online store, give people the details on the fact that they can order things online. A lot of people don't realize these things. Curbside pickup is something that's big with food, but sometimes people don't realize that some of the other stores are also doing curbside pickup. Or even if you go to something like Walmart, I think you can order stuff ahead of time and actually have it dropped off to you outside the store. I think you could actually do that before the pandemic, but people don't know. I literally had a friend the other day. We went to a store and they said, oh, that's so convenient that I can pick things up outside now. And it's like, it's actually been that way for about a year and a half. So it's something that you think everyone will realize, but they don't. One of the other things you can do to support, and it's kind of related to the advertising, is See if they're doing any sort of events. Some stores will actually be hosting some online events. I know with conventions, a lot of board game conventions were held online, but some stores are doing the same thing, whether they're having their own little mini conventions or whether they're just hosting game nights essentially via the web, whether it's on like Tabletop Simulator or something like that, or they're just doing it over camera. Check it out. Maybe they're running RPGs. If your store isn't advertising it, ask. Maybe it's something that they are doing or they want to do, but they're just looking for, enough people, enough interest. Something else to think about too is if it's something you're interested in, talk to your friendly local game store. Give them a call or stop in and see if it's something they're interested in. Heck, even offer to host it. If you know a little bit more about getting things working online, hosting things over, again, Tabletop Simulator or something like that. There's lots of stuff online you can use to play board games. Offer that to them. Give them the extra help that they need that they might not even be thinking about. And that's really what it comes down to. You want to give them support and help in a time when they really need it. They might not be getting any government assistance because they're not essential business. They're probably not getting near as many people coming in or ordering. And that's the thing, we're still likely playing board games. Heck, if you and 4 other people all want to play a game, all of you could buy a copy of it. Maybe you're going to buy a copy of it anyway once the pandemic's over. So buy a copy now, play online over a camera, play online anyway. A big thing is a lot of us are playing games online, but something to think about, most companies would prefer that at least one person owns a copy of the game. Some game developers have actually come out and basically said that like we've released the game for free online. The new Pathfinder Adventure card game, that is actually that way. You can play it completely free online on Tabletop Simulator, and it's all official. But what they basically said is we would like it if somebody actually owned a copy of the game. So do it. Talk to your friendly local game store, order yourself a copy of the game. You could also start playing before you get the physical copy, as long as you've already ordered it and showed your support to both your friendly local game store and the publisher. So there you go. And the other way, depending on the game store, is via donation. I donated some books. I have lots of leftover board games, so once she's accepting used, couldn't think of the word used for some reason. Once she's accepting used board games, I have a lot of stuff I can give her and donate in order to give her some extra things to sell and gives a way to give back to your friendly local game store and to your community in general. But on top of that kind of donation, if you have extra money and your friendly local game store is something you really enjoy, you could just donate actual money. It might be something that they're willing to take. They might even have something already set up to show support. Heck, worst case scenario, if you do order something online and there is some way to leave a tip, just leave a nice big tip. An extra way of saying thank you for still being running during the pandemic, and just to show that you want them to be there and you want them to still be around once this is over. The way I've been sort of doing this with my other friendly local game store is, now that the pandemic has slowed down a little bit here, especially to the point where I feel comfortable having a couple people over to play Magic, I've been ordering Magic the Gathering not online. I've been ordering it from my friendly local game store, doing the pre-orders and whatnot. And we've been having fun getting to play Magic and getting to hang out with people. It's been nice, even if it's only 2 or 3 people at a time. But maybe you're not somewhere where you can do that. So finding ways to play games online is probably a good idea too. That's not what the video is about, though. The video is about friendly local game stores and why you should support them. But that's all I really have to say about that. So if you have anything you want to leave in the comments, like for example, what you've been doing to help support your friendly local game store, or more importantly, what your friendly local game store has been doing to adapt to the pandemic, I'd love to hear it. You might even have some interesting stories about your friendly local game store and how awesome they are. because that's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about how awesome the game store is, rather than just doing a Facebook post about deals they're doing. Just talk about them and talk about some good memories you have, so that it gets people thinking about them, and maybe your friendly local game store will see it and it'll help revitalize them, give them that little thumbs up for the day, you know? Like, oh yeah, I remember those times when people were around and we had so much fun. So leave that kind of stuff in the comment. I'd love to see it. And, you know, tell people about your friendly local game store in the same way. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I hope everyone's happy and healthy. And until next time, live free, game hard. I guess that's it.